Alright guys, welcome to the Survival Hunter Guide for Season 2. We're going to be covering our tier set, our stat priority, our talent, single target, and AoE, rotation, useful gear, and of course resistance, and with our standard outro. Make sure you like and subscribe to see more videos like this, and let's get started. Our stat priority will be for single target, mastery, crit, verse, and then haste, and for mythic plus, mastery, crit, equal to haste, and then verse. Alright, and here's our tier set for the season. Our 2-piece increases the wall firebomb damage increasingly by 3%, and then whenever you fail to get that 3% stacking, you get your jackpot, which increases our monkey's bite, rapid strike damage for 40%, and reduces our cooldown of wall firebomb by 10%. Alright, now here are your talent builds for Mythic Plus. There's some mandatory talents that you have to take. Otherwise, you can pick and choose. Like for example, the only real optional thing you can actually select out of here is Mongoose Bite as opposed to Raptor Strike if you do want to use that. Obviously you have to replace a point to get Mongoose Bite, and generally speaking you want it off quick shots. If you do want to try a Mongoose Bite build, you can, but generally speaking I just prefer to use Raptor Strike. Like I said, there's really not much of a difference here. It's maybe less than a 1% DPS difference, but if you want to do that, feel free to go ahead and do it. Mandatory talents, obviously you need Butchery out here, and with that comes Merciless Blow. And obviously Coordinated Assault is what you want to use. Another optional talent you want to probably go for is Relentless Primal Ferocity. Now you can pick this over Symbiotic Adrenaline. It is burstier in a lot of ways, like in some dungeons where you have to pop out your cooldowns in the specific big pack. Now you are target capped to like 8 targets with as Survival Hunter, you are target capped. But if it's a big target pack, if it's a priority target pack that you need to mow down and you need to burst, you just want to damage it, kill it as fast as you can, then yeah, in some dungeons you can see this being useful, but generally speaking, Symbiotic Adrenaline is the more go-to, it's the more default, it's just more consistent. Obviously you need Fear of the Eagle if you are going to go Mythic Plus build, along with the Ruthless Marauder. Contagious Reagents, this has been debated in the PTR whether or not it is good, but now that in the PTR Blizzard actually buffed it to where you can apply it to 4 more enemies. Yes, it is actually better if you pick this talent. It is the go-to at this point, along with Outland Venom. You basically want to go into a pack, spread as many surface things as you can, and then the Outland Venom will actually increase your damage based on the number of dots you have on them. Let's see. Now you can also use Terms of Engagement. It is in the Mythic Plus build, you are running place to place, you want to get places faster. However, the way our talent points are distributed at the moment, it is probably not recommended to actually use Terms of Engagement. Now if you're in open world or you're in delves where things die faster, yes, you can do it. However, like I said, as part of its current tuning right now, it is actually DPS loss to pick it in the Mythic Plus environment, because your point can be allocated somewhere else more useful, such as, you know, Contagious Reagents or Bloodseekers, something like that. Okay, now this is a Sentinel build for Mythic Plus. If for some reason you want to pick Pack Leader, and I do not recommend it at the moment for Pack Leader for any content. You can do it just for the fun of it, for meme builds or anything like that, but Pack Leader currently is super undertuned. Very substantially undertuned. You are going to lose DPS playing Pack Leader. So if you do want to do Pack Leader for any reason, good news. All you have to do is switch your hero talents. There is nothing else you need to change. And this also applies for single target builds also. And I'll go into that here in just a second. But I just want to reiterate, I can't make this more clear. Pack Leader is currently not recommended for any content for survival, single target, AoE, Mythic Plus, delves, maybe open world, or just running around, just messing around. If you want to play in a competitive setting, Pack Leader is a substantial DPS loss. Alright, so this will be our go-to for our single target in the raid. This will be our talent trees that you will be using. As you can see, we are switching out of Fear of the Eagle and Ruthless Marauder, and we're putting all the points to Spearhead and the Deadly Duo, which is more focused on single target. You'll be switching out of Butchery into Flanking Strike, and you will also be taking Mongoose Bite along with Bloody Claws to extend the duration of Mongoose Fury every time you kill command, which keeps more of the Mongoose Fury buff on Mongoose Bite to then do more damage as much as you can. Now, for this talent choice over here, from Symbiotic Adrenaline to Relentless Primal Ferocity, this is interchangeable depending on the fight. Now, if you have a boss that likes to sit still and let you hit them and doesn't fly away every like 30 seconds or so, or just be untargetable or immune for that kind of reason, then Relentless Primal Ferocity is your go-to. Now, however, if you have a boss that's stubborn and don't let you hit them from time to time, Symbiotic Adrenaline is probably going to be better for you. Now, there are some changes in the Sentinel tree that you do have to keep out for when switching over to single target. Instead of Crescent Steel, we will take Overwatch, and instead of a Sentinel Watch, we will do Eyes Closed for more frontline damage as soon as we press Coordinated Assault. For your class tree, it depends on the encounter. Obviously, you pick the mandatory ones. You may not even need Muzzle for some single target fights, so you can usually just kind of use that talent point elsewhere. But for some single target fights, depending on the encounter, watch the videos for the boss and know what you have to do, what you need to be using your utilities on, and just, you know, base your class tree off of that specific encounter. For if you, like I said before, with the Mythic Plus build, you can also switch to Pack Leader at no change at all to your talent trees on either your class tree or your spec tree. However, like I said before, it is not recommended right now to switch to Pack Leader, as it is a substantial DPS loss across the board for everything you do. Okay, so for any fight in the raid, which is pretty much all of them except for that Sprocket Monger guy, which is he's the only guy in the raid right now that I know of that has only one target, him. You probably want to get rid of Flanking Strike and go into Butchery to deal with the ads a little more, or if you have like your guildies that can actually do more to the ads than you can, then, you know, yeah, it's probably a good idea to just stick to Flanking Strike. But I think Muggsy, the second to last boss, besides Gallywix, and I want to say the first boss, Vexy, then for those kind of bosses, I would just go for a Mythic Plus build, because they have constant ads that spawn you that you have to deal with. And I want to also say, which one is it? The One-Armed Bandit. Yeah, this guy has some periodic ads that you have to deal with that can't be moved. So in those scenarios, I would also just take flanking. Instead of taking Flanking Strike, I would also take Butchery, just because those are priority ads that needs to be nuked down, and you also have to do damage to the boss at the same time. Alright, now for a class talent tree, there's not really much to say here. Other than the mandatories that you have to use is that you have to grab the Specialized Arsenal, mandatory, Explosive Shot, Blood Munitions, mandatory Padded Armor, mandatory Survival Fittest. Other stuff that you really have that you have to take is, you know, just your Interrupt, obviously some of the capstones over here. Implosive Shot, I think it's way better than High Explosive Trap, because you don't actually push people out unless you use Pack Leader. Like I said, I don't recommend you use Pack Leader. High Explosive Trap can actually synergize pretty well with Binding Shot if you take them, and then with the Pack Leader you actually get Horsehair Tether, which actually pulls him back. So that's pretty niche, it's pretty useful, but you're not actually going to pick Pack Leader at the current moment, so it's not a thing. Again, it's up to you. I like to use Binding Shot. You can also use Scout's Instincts. Some people have been using that. You can also use Scatter Shot. Some people have been using Scatter Shot instead of Bursting Shot. Concussive Shot, also good. You can put a talent out somewhere and just use this. Some people use Scare Beast, some people don't. Again, the class spec tree is generally up to you. There are mandatory talents. Obviously, you need to grab, but after that, you can just pick whatever you want. Okay, we're going to start out with our AoE rotation, and as usual, we are going to put Hunter's Mark on our priority target if you can, or just any random one if you want to. We're playing Sentinel, so we're going to make sure Lunar Storm is over our pack of mobs before we start doing any kind of, you know, burst AoE with our cooldowns and trinkets as such. And we will activate Lunar Storm by pressing Wildfire Bomb. So now the basic rotation for Survival Hunter in either AoE or single target is we're going to use Kill Command to generate a tip stack, and we're going to use that tip stack to use it on a spell that can benefit from it. So I'm going to put a priority list of spells that benefit the most for Tip of the Spear stack on my screen right now, and it's usually just in order: Explosive Shot, Wildfire Bomb, Fear of the Eagle, Kill Shot, and then Mongoose Bite or Raptor Strike. You generally don't want to use your Tip of the Spear stack on Butchery, because all it does is buff the initial damage of Butchery and not Merciless Blows. So it's kind of a waste, and it really does negligible damage if you use Tip of the Spear on Butchery. You generally want to use it on the harder hitting spells, like, you know, all these. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to throw a Wildfire Bomb to activate Lunar Storm. going with Harpoon. I'm going to use Butchery. I'm going to use Kill Command to proc a tip stack, and then Kill Command again, and then just chuck the rest of my bombs so I can activate Coordinated Assault as such. Use it on Explosive Shot, Wildfire Bomb. I got one last stack left. I'm going to use it on Fear of the Eagle. Make sure my Merciless Bullet Bleed is on all my targets with Butchery, and then I'm just going to start rotating Tip of the Spear stacks with Kill Command, and then all that kind of stuff like right now. Kill Command, Explosive Shot, use the Tip of the Spear stack on that Empowered Explosive Shot, and then I keep getting the proc, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep juggling. All right, and we're gonna just press your procs when you can, and then when you finally can, use your Mongoose Bites. All right, and you got nothing else to use your Tip of the Spear stacks over here. Just use it on whatever you have available. All right, Tip of the Spear. Use on Mongoose Bite, and then we'll have Tip stack. Just gonna use it on Fear of the Eagle before we can use Coordinated Assault again. We're just gonna pop Coordinated Assault once that's over. All right, gives us 3 stacks, and we're gonna use on 2 Wildfire Bombs and an Explosive Shot, and then it's rinse and repeat. You're basically juggling Kill Command every other ability just so you can activate a Tip of the Spear stack, and then you're just gonna use that stack on whatever it is you have. And I'm just gonna Butchery here. Kill Command, use the tip stack on Explosive Shot. Kill Command, use the tip stack on Wildfire Bomb, and then I'm just going to make sure that Serpent Sting stays on my target with double Mongoose Bites or Rapture Strikes. Alright, let me show you the single target rotation. Alright, so for your single target rotation, make sure you have your Hunter's Mark on your target, and since we're staying with Sentinel, make sure that you know that Wildfire Bomb triggers Sentinel on the target before I do any damage to it. Okay? So, it's going to be a bit different than what the AoE wants to do, because instead of Fear of the Eagle, we have Spear Hit, and instead of Butchery, we have Flanking Strike. Now, I want to keep in mind that when you do go into Coordinated Assault and you have a Spirit active, you are going to be losing a lot of Tip of the Spear charges, because Mongoose Bite will generally, at that time, be the only thing you use besides Kill Command, and it's just going to be that way. That's just how it is for single target. So, make sure your pet is not on passive. We're going to throw a Wildfire Bomb, Harpoon in, throw another Wildfire Bomb, Coordinated Assault, Kill Command, Spear Hit, Flanking Strike. You're going to be wasting a Tip of Spear stack, no problem. Pop your Trinket, Explosive Shot, Wildfire Bomb, Mongoose Bite, Kill Command, Mongoose Bite, Kill Command, Bomb, Explosive Shot, and then you just rinse and repeat basically. That's all you can really do for single target, and if Kill Shot procs, then you're just going to use your Tip of the Spear stack on Kill Shot if you can. And that's just how it is for single target. It's a little bit less busy than it is on AoE because you only have one target, and generally speaking you don't have that much actually to do because your rotation is just kind of comprised of mainly Mongoose Bites because that's all you can press. And then when your cooldowns come back up, make sure you always want to press Coordinated Assault first and then you press Spear Hit. But if Spirit comes back, Spirit is going to come back before Coordinated Assault, so you can always use another charge of another use of Spear Hit before you actually pop another Coordinated Assault back. So here, Spear Hit is back up, so I'm going to pop Spear Hit, and then Flanking Strike for massive damage. Wildfire Bomb, and I have 2 stacks of Wildfire Bombs, so I'm going to use 2 Stip Techs on that. And then you're just going to want to cycle Kill Command, use that Tip of the Spear stack on Mongoose Bite, because that's all you can really do for now. Okay, so for gearing, there are some consumables you can use. If you're just primarily a Mythic Plus player like me, I like to put double crit embellishments on my gear, so that's the Dawn Threat lining. If you want to craft your gear and you want to know what embellishment that is, I have it on my boots and my bracers. You can also put it on your cloak or your belt. Those are the only slots I recommend putting it on, instead of having an ascendancy on your weapon. Me personally, I don't have it because I have Dawn Threat lining. If you're raiding, Ascendance is the better option on your weapon because you are going to be engaged in combat for a longer period of time than you would be in Mythic Plus, where you're going from place to place and you're out of combat quite a lot. So in that respect, raiding in general is better with Ascendance on your weapon than it is for double Dawn Threats. However, double Dawn Threats is also really good for raid. Right now I think it's about equal, with your simming about equal, so you want to play it safe, you can just go double crit. That's what I'm doing. Now, for your ring, the circus, whatever the circlet is, the legendary skippers did get actually hotfixed today, March 1st, earlier tonight. It actually got a nerf, so I want to say that as of making this video right now on March the 1st, that this is still best in slot, even with the nerf, the legendary skipper. But we'll have to see. If there's any changes, I'll let you guys know. So this is probably going to be a best in slot through season 2 if it is not a drastic change. So hopefully it is, so you don't have to worry about another ring for the rest of the season. Now for your trinkets, there are 2 trinkets that are really, really good that you either want to aim for, and it's the House of Cards. I actually put a list up here. The House of Cards or Signet of the Priory. Now Signet of the Priory is probably easier to get than House of Cards is, because House of Cards is literally the new sack route. Everybody wants that trinket. You're going to be competing for it a lot. If you're lucky, you can get it from a raid if your guild members like you, or you can get it in your vault if you're very, very lucky. But it's the new sack route. Just keep that in mind. Everybody wants that trinket. Signet of the Priory is farmable, so I would say it's you know, from Sacred Flame Dungeon. And third one would probably be the Pacemaker. So the Pacemaker is Lucky You, Lucky Me. Also, it also drops from a dungeon. It drops from Floodgate. So this is also a farmable trinket that you generally want to use as your non-on use, along with Signet or House of Cards. Other ones are good too, like the Perfect Ascendancy Serum that you can get in Delves. If you can get that at a hero track, that's really, really good. And then there's also one that's, I want to say, either the Ritual Knife or Eye of Kazan. Yeah, Eye of Kazan is another one that drops from the raid, which is really good, but it did get nerfed recently, so it also drops off the last boss. So this might be a while before anybody gets it. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Sorry it took a little bit long. It took me hours to make this video. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like it. If it's helpful to you in any way, comment down below, share, and, you know, do all that kind of stuff. And let me know if you're gonna play a survival hunter this season. I'm pretty sure some of you are interested because you did watch the video after all. But yeah, I hope I helped you guys a little bit. I hope to see you guys in season 2. Hopefully I find some of you in dungeons. Good luck on your gear, and happy gearing in season 2. Make sure you have fun out there. And remember,
in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.